And now to the larger neighbor of Lebanon, Syria. It has been a month since the fall of Bashar al-Assad's government in Syria. Although the country is now open, airports, museums, and markets, Syrians are still cautious about the future without a constitution or a path for an upcoming election. We tell you more in this report.
The Syrian scene is still vague. The constitution has not been written yet, and there are violations against Syrian components, especially minorities in Syria.
1 month since the fall of the Assad regime, celebrations in Syria are tinged with concern for the future. As the war-torn country turns a new page in its history, the new Syrian regime is opening the nation's diplomatic channels. For the first time in 13 years, a Qatar Airways plane landed at Damascus airport as Syria resumed international flight operations. Syria's National Museum reopened after years of closure. The Assad government had evacuated the museum's collection back in 2011. When the civil war spread across in the country. Years after the war, some antiques are back on display. Civilians gathered in Mount Cassion that overlooks the Syrian capital, a site they only remember visiting years ago.
This is my first time visiting Cassion with my friends, and it was an amazing experience. Imagine the joy children get when they visit a place that has been in their memory for 13 years. I'm just happy to remember some details. This is just a part of what Syrians were missing.
The highway in Damascus saw street vendors selling fuel, a daunting task during Assad's regime.
It's completely different. You used to dream of getting into a gas station with a motorbike.
On the global stage, world leaders are considering lifting sanctions on Syria. France says the European Union will swiftly lift sanctions that obstruct humanitarian aid and hinder the country's recovery. The United States also exempted transactions from sanctions for Syria for 6 months after decades of isolation. Syria was only welcomed back in the Arab fold 2 years ago. The new regime is trying to mend ties with the Gulf. This month, Syria's new foreign minister Assad Hassan al-Sharaa visited UAE, Jordan and Qatar. While these remain a few positive signs for the future, the absence of a constitution and a clear political path combined with the crackdown on pro-Assad loyalists make sectarian Syrian groups skeptical about the possible democratic government.